The frontrunner for Best Actress at the Academy Awards, Carl Weathers. Oh, no, sorry. Carl Malone. Nope, just about got it. Khal Drogo. Well, at least that one's a little closer. But Karla Sofia Gascon has some interesting roadblocks that they're going to need to overcome in order to secure that once prestigious prize. And it's interesting, right? Because this time last week, it might have been Sunday last week, but regardless, last weekend released a video about, the nomination, and it was interesting to say the least. And I never thought that I'd have to talk about this again until, you could just point and laugh on the night and going, when you have all of those fakes and frauds in the crowd just going, oh, look at that, the repercussions of your poor choices. You're expecting anybody else to give a flying care about a dude going up on stage and winning a woman's award. It's like, I pay no mind to any of those conversations of, oh, we need to maintain the integrity of female-only spaces. It's like, I beg your pardon? What's this? We need to do any of this stuff, okay? Because there used to be gentlemen's clubs. There used to be cigar lounges. The Boy Scouts, the Eagle Scouts. Oh, there used to be properly segregated spaces. So excuse me if I don't want to stick up for the side that voted for all of this insanity getting exactly what they deserve. But I digress. That's a different story for another time. We're talking about the woke eating the woke, because that's ostensibly, outside of like 1.5 potentially based tweets, this publicly available information being resurfaced. I mean, like, come on, man. When things are just like a cursory social media search away, is it really uncovered? It's just wild to think about. But just circling back around to this Emilia Perez movie, the film that has got not one, not two, but 13 different Academy Award nominations. It's absolutely wild because, yeah, since last weekend, I've listened to a couple of shot for shot, scene for scene reviews, breakdowns of this dumpster fire, and bro, it's wild. Like, it sounds to be just an absolutely insane film. And because it's released on Netflix, feel free to go and watch it if you have literally nothing better to do. If you're willing or entertaining the idea of really being a strong ally about 42% of the time, I would encourage you to at least watch this movie, because you might actually see that if you have such an incomprehensibly low skill floor, you too could accomplish something. So perhaps it could be uplifting if you watch it in that sense. But outside of that, I mean, Selena Gomez's performance about caring about criminals getting deported was more convincing than anything that she did in this absolute trash fire. Like, I mean, this film has more nominations, okay? It has more nominations than Return of the King. And it's wild because it's got several acting nominations, and the entirety of The Lord of the Rings, there's one nomination. Ian McKellen got Best Supporting for Fellowship, which, hey, if you could only pick one performance, I mean, it's really hard to beat Gandalf and Fellowship, but I would put, well, the fact that Vigo didn't get nominated for Two Towers or for Return of the King is just wild, okay? Sean Astin, I know a lot of people pick on Elijah Wood for whatever reason, but in Return of the King, like, he's fantastic, okay? Like, he's really good throughout the entire trilogy, and especially the way that he depicts the corruption of the One Ring and Two Towers, that's fantastic, but I digress, okay? We're talking about good movies, but we're going to focus in on just the perfect movie. The perfect movie. I hope it sweeps, okay? I hope Big Carl just saunters up to that podium, just swinging and hip checking, swinging something around on the way up to the podium, because, that would just be peak Hollywood. Because at this point in time, right, like with all of the political stuff that's kicking off, I'm not going to stray too far into that stuff. That's a different topic for a different time, but you've seen the response from different sects of the entertainment industry, and well, they aren't backing down. Some places, they're even doubling down. So yeah, do you really think the Academy is going to be light on politics this time around? Absolutely not. But this is going to be interesting, okay? In the interim between March 2nd, I think the award ceremony is, and this weekend with the fallout, like how they're going to do this and how this is eventually just going to be whisked out of the news cycle. Because some of the issues that Karla, or who knows who is tweeting at this point in time, Is it the stunning and brave Best Actress, or was it their former persona, which is one of the overarching themes in Emilia Perez? Okay, you can just go ahead and wipe away all the sins of your past if you just embrace the feminine and disperse with the masculine. It's just wild. So there are some issues that were touched on that could be a third rail of sorts, but the other ones are just like totally in line. So let's take a look at this. Okay. Emilia Perez star Karla Sofia Gascon is under fire for a series of social media posts on her X account in which the actor your words, not mine, appears to express controversial views on Muslims, George Floyd, and diversity at the Oscars. Yeah, like, I've already pre-read through the tweets here, and there's like 1.5 that's kind of hilarious. You're also leaving out another big topic that was discussed, which is actually, well, the sentiment's pretty based. Some of the conspiracy theories is, just about as outlandish as if you can go under the knife, you can somehow identify as somebody who's got different chromosomes, but whatever. The posts, many of which were deleted on Thursday. What? After they were resurfaced by journalist Sarah Hagi, interesting, were largely posted between 2020 and 2021. So what exactly was being discussed, huh? One example, dated November 22nd, 2020. I'm sorry, is it just my impression, or is there more Muslims in Spain? Every time I go and pick up my daughter from school, there are more women there with their hair covered and their skirts down to their heels. Next year, instead of English, we'll have to teach Arabic. All right, so that passes the base test. What else are we talking about? I don't know why that's controversial. Another post from September 2nd, 2020. Okay, so we're going back in time. I attached a photo of a Muslim family in a restaurant, which is like, I don't know, man, like they're kind of modeling for the picture, and you already know in which direction we're going. And yeah, these were like publicly available. So I was like, I don't know if you're really a journalist, if you're just, scrolling through feeds a few years back, but whatever. Islam is marvelous. Without any machismo, women are respected. And when they are so respected, they are left with a little squared hole in their faces and their eyes to be visible and their mouths, but only if she behaves. Although they dress this way for their own enjoyment. How deeply disgusting of humanity. But yeah, no, definitely. That's an accurate representation of things going on right now. For sure, man. Yeah, I'll listen to somebody who's all about what it means to be a woman and how this person, with a happy family needs to express what it means to be a woman. Yeah, no, definitely. I'll take your advice on that one. In a post from January 29th, 2021, Gascon's account says that Islam fails to comply with international rights. Well, can you point to a specific package? I'm sure you can, but a specific passage in the Quran that's somehow conflicting? Oh no, you can't. That's interesting. And that the religions, yes, because this is a far more than just Islam. This Oscar nominee is critiquing, must be banned as long as it does not comply with DDHH, the abbreviation for the human rights in Spanish law. Commentary appears to extend. It's so funny when it's somebody on their side. It's commentary, not these remarks, not these statements were made. It's just the commentary. It's just commentary. It's fine, guys, because it's literally that Family Guy meme again. Oh, you're trans. Oh, okay, you could just go ahead and do whatever you want. Oh, okay. In a post from August 16th, 2021, Gascon writes, I am so sick of all this shit. Of Islam, of Christianity, of Catholicism, and all of the fucking beliefs of morons that violate human rights. Hilarious. You're talking about somebody holding what you believe to be pathetic, moronic beliefs and values. Let's consider the source for a second. Along with her post about Islam, Gascon posted a long thread about George Floyd. All right, this could get good. Okay, just hold up. I know you've been skeptical so far, but just hold on. Okay, inspiring protests across the United States. I really think that a few people ever cared about George Floyd, a drug addict swindler. No, but his death has served to once again demonstrate that there are people who still consider black people to be monkeys without rights and consider policemen to be assassins. They're all wrong. What? All right. I got to admit, you had me in the first half, but then you really kind of lost me there. In follow-up post, Gascon added, too many things to reflect on regarding the behavior of our species. You talk about our species, you don't even know how to identify. Every time an event occurs, perhaps it is no longer a question of racism. but of social classes that feel threatened by each other. Maybe that's the only real difference. Yeah, just go back to tweeting about your perceptions about Islam. They weren't good, but that air of intellectualism is just, it's not working for you. Gascon, who's the first openly trans actor to be nominated for an Academy Award. What's this openly trans stuff? Like, that's kind of wild, too. Like, was there somebody who was under the radar beforehand? Maybe? I don't know. Also weighed in on the Oscar ceremony in 2021, the first held following the COOF pandemic, in which Nomadland. Remember that film? Yeah, exactly. One Best Picture. More and more, the Oscars. Yeah, okay, yeah, had to uncover something that was hashtagged with Oscars. Sure thing. Are looking like a ceremony for independent and protest films. I don't know if I was watching an Afro-Korean festival, a Black Lives Matter demonstration, or the 8M. Gascon wrote, apart from that, an ugly gala. I mean, yeah, that was the one that was held in like a banquet room in a hotel. And it was like, this is awfully activistic, but then again, it has been for a long time. So that's kind of based. Not too bad. Not too bad at all. And then we're going to be talking about the pandemic. Oh my God, the Chinese vaccine. Apart from the mandatory, like, what are we that's kind of wild. It comes with 2 spring rolls, a cat, and moves its hands, 2 plastic flowers, a pop-up lantern, 3 telephone lines, and €1 for your first controlled purchase. Yo, where was this person beforehand? Like, that's kind of wild. Then you put a Chinese flag, a Tory gate, and a bowl of ramen? Like, what? Yo, that's wild. It's just hilarious, but it's wild. So many scientists in the world making bombs. So many scholars constructing objects for space. So many medical factories, and there's no one that can get in line with this Chinese shit. Shrug emoji in the end. In the end, it was a tremendous show for a new variant of the flu, avian, or coronavirus. Yo, that's... okay. I would imagine probably the BLM tweet, because that's specifically addressing the vanity of the Oscars. That one might be a bridge too far, but this COOF tweet, if this was from back in the cut, now because China plays a lot more of a diminished role in the overall health of Hollywood, this one might fly a little bit. It's just overcoming Black Lives Matter stuff, which, yeah, like I said, it's like there's 1.5 base tweets that are in here. But don't worry, guys. Don't worry. This very passable individual who's the first openly trans is like, even if you weren't openly trans, we know, has come out and said that they're deeply sorry for resurfaced tweets. Light will always triumph over darkness. Well, it kind of depends what kind of darkness, because we know that you have a proclivity to tweet about it. Karla, Sofia, Gascon apologized on Thursday for controversial tweets fans found on her social media accounts that same morning. Whoa, hold up. It was some busybody, quote-unquote, journalist. Because I refuse to say that there's any fans that are out there. I want to acknowledge the conversation around my past social media posts that have caused hurt. As someone in a marginalized community, I know this suffering all too well. So that means that I could properly craft those tweets for maximum efficacy. No. And I'm deeply sorry to those I have caused pain. All my life, I have fought for a better world. It would be better without certain subsects of people, but we'll get to that when I post on my burner account. I believe light will always triumph over darkness. The Emilia Perez star made headlines early Thursday with her old posts on Twitter resurfacing and incited controversy. But yeah, tweeting about George Floyd and Muslims, I mean, that would have been far more controversial. Like, this was 5-10 years ago. And no, I'm not even talking about the societal shift that we've been experiencing here since about a certain event that happened in early November. No, this is just because Hollywood has more important pet projects to go ahead and push, one that Karla just so happens to benefit from. So let's see how quickly the story gets scrubbed out of the news cycle. There was the PR apology that looks very different from the one that Anthony Mackie put out after he fucked his way through an interview in Italy. Like, bro, Captain America doesn't mean, I don't want to associate that with America, but no, I didn't mean that. I love troops. It's like, what the hell are you doing? Okay. Like, his statement and his clarification is like, that obviously didn't go through a PR department. That's just him going, no, I really do love America. I know my movie's gonna suck, but please, I don't hate things. I kind of have a mush mouth. That genuinely seemed like it came from Captain Falcon. But this, on the other hand, I mean, all the PR spin in the world is not going to be able to deflect from everybody who's going to be staring at your Adam's apple while you deliver your acceptance speech for Best Actress. This shit's going to be hilarious. So with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.